we have an image source is equal to images slash some speaker dot jpg, and width 100 and height 100, like this we configured, we define. And this is, for example, this is pick one. So this is the pick one. Okay. Now similarly we have another div, copy another div, and we defined this as some earpods. earpods earpods is there. Okay, some mobile or some earpods. Okay, some shirt. Okay, shoe.jpg, that is pick 2. Another div, so we have some shoe1.jpg, and that is pick 3. So like this we are adding some pictures. Another one is the shirt.jpg. And flex direction, we will use column. When I use flex direction columns, then you can see all are arranged here. In the columns they need to arrange. Okay, but to arrange in the columns, actually, so this containers have to use one more option. That means it should use the flexible directions with attributes. Some attributes are there. We have column reverse, we can arrange that information depending on the attribute, which attribute you are configuring. Depending on the attribute, it will arrange the contents and display the contents. So for example, so this is flex direction, and we defined columns. There are several more options. So here, these are all the images we have, right? Now let's keep that. So containers here. So what are the display directions? Other directions I will tell you, then we can arrange them. When you are displaying the flex directions, so you can have several flex directions. So what are the various flex directions available? The flex directions, usually we have options like column. So we have like column. So we have like reverse column. So we can use column reverse, actually column reverse, and we can use like row reverse. So that is how we can define. And we can also use wrapping of content, how we can wrap the content and display the contents with a wrap style. We can define it. Okay, let's see one simple example here. How we can arrange these options. Justify content, align items. In different examples I will show you. So once you configure the content here, so the flex, so some here we will define the style. So the container, and here we are using display as flex. You see, you have options like flex and you have option like flex box. Two options are there usually. So here we are asking about the flex box. Actually flex box and flex both are similar to handle, but a little bit variation will be there. We will see that. Generally, when I say flex box, so then here we need to arrange the content side by side. And for that, we need options like flex direction. So in which direction you want. I want in column direction. We need to define the column direction. And once you keep in the column direction, so then Flexbox requires also to arrange the information in which column you want, you need to display them. This you can not only for pictures, direction also important. For example, see here, suppose I am configuring for the ordered list or unordered list. In some examples already I told you, if you remembered. So we have items like home. So we have item like about. We have item like contact like this. And when these are displayed there, home, about, contact, and unordered list, we are writing display as flex. So we are using display as flex. That means they will have a flexible display like this. They have a flexible display like this. So then, so we can keep the content arranged side by side. We have directions. The directions you can observe by using these attributes. Directions can be arranged by using these attributes. That means flex direction, column or row, in which direction you want, you can manage them. Right? Let's check this. So what is the flex display? Here I'm using the container. So that is flex box is not required. Just I will keep this container. So in the container, for the divs, we need to arrange here the container. So in the container, we have the div. Okay. And here we have display and we have flex box. So like this, flex box is the display. Some problem is there here. Is there any div missing? Once we check that. So some container flex box. Actually, all these need to come here. So flexible. Fine. Okay. Once you define this flex, now we arranged the content into flex. Flex will keep all the content side by side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. Okay. Once you define the content in a flexible, that means it is the flex here. Still, the columns are important for this. How you arrange the columns actually? Generally, to arrange the columns, what we need to do is, we need to keep, so flex direction actually. So we say flex direction. Direction I defined into columns. So that means it will be in column. This is the column. That means actually flex is displaying in a normal way. That means side by side. If you want in a column to arrange, then you have to use the flex direction column. Okay. Now here in column, observe pick 1, pick 2, pick 3 is there. Generally flex is displaying side by side. Column will arrange in column. In that column, we have reverse. When I say flex direction column reverse, you can see that in reverse order, pictures will be arranged. That means 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can arrange in the reverse order. So we can define in the reverse order. So suppose I defined in the row I want to arrange, then I can use here row. And flex direction is row. And the row also we can use the reverse. Then it will display in reverse 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It can arrange in reverse order. So these facilities are available. These facilities are available. That means the advantage of this is nothing but, so when you are arranging your content, you can keep them. So one below another, one beside another. So reverse order, because you can simply arrange them in reverse order these you can change dynamically, because user says that I want to see from bottom to top according to the price, according to some category. Then we can easily arrange them by using these flex options, row, reverse, columns. By using them we can easily manage. So that is very much required, especially when you are dealing with flexible display. Reverse and options. So this is one simple option, flex directions, how you can manage. Now, these options, justify content and other options also, so are very much used. Another option, another example is how we can keep the content center on page. How you can keep the content center on page. That means display content exactly center to page. How we can display the content. For that also we need to use this flex related some attributes. So how you can do that? So see, suppose you designed anything, you want to keep exactly center of the page. Let's create. So center HTML. So for example, we are designing a head section. So title as center. And here we have the body, and in the body, so we are defining a div and the class as container. In that div, so I have a heading, so some user login. And here we will add some data list, data terms, data list, data term, some username, and data definition, some input type is equal to text, and data term, so password, and data definition, so here input type is equal to password, and so we have so button, so as login. All these options are defined. Now our intention is to keep all this user login center. I want to keep this into the center. So then generally in the container, so the div is, this is the container. In the container, you keep all these inside another div. Arranging these contents also very important. If you miss that, they cannot work in a proper way. Okay. So first what we are doing is in the style we are configuring. So in the style we are configuring wherever the container is there. In the container we have a div. The div inside the container so should have width some 200 pixels, and it should have some border as 2 pixels, solid and dark cyan something. So border, and the border radius as 20 pixel. Okay, and it have padding, so padding as 10 pixel. Okay, now you can see that is the border displayed for that here. All right, so that is some 300 pixels something. Okay, we configured that. So that is the appearance. Now I want to keep this on the center. I want to keep this onto the center screen. So that means we define the content to the center screen. Padding, little bit padding. Okay, so padding is 20 or 30, that will be fine. Okay. I want to display this on center screen. Actually original size is this one. This is the original size. How you can arrange the content in center screen? Just what we have to do is for the container, so dot container, first display as flex. That means it will keep it flexible display. Okay. After keeping flexible display, you can use justify content to center. And you can define align items to center. So this is the horizontal and vertical alignment, and height of the container is some 500 pixels. Now you can see that justify content center is horizontal. Align items is vertical. Flexible display will adjust according to the screen and it will keep the content like this. That means we can keep the content onto the center of page, onto the center of page. So that is the flexible displays. So these kind of arrangements are very much regularly required, very much regularly required. So for example, I said some body, so and background here URL, background image URL. So that is dot images slash shoe dot jpg. That is the background image that comes with a background image. And this container is also having a background color, and background color, suppose some yellow. So that is the yellow. And yesterday we learned how you can make this background color transparent. In the last sessions, we discussed about them, how we can keep that transparent. How do we keep that transparent? Remember how we can keep that content transparent. So instead of using yellow, what you can do, how you can keep the color transparent? To keep that color transparent, we can use RGBA. Am I right? We have to use RGBA. That means RGBA. So here I defined the red color 200. So 200, 200, 200, 200. So like this. So that is the color. So we can mix the color here. Suppose I selected a color and transparent here, yellow, okay, and I can keep this transparent. So usually transparent is 0.4. That is the transparency of that color, or transparent will be there. Arranging the content, so the width is some 300, then it will keep the content in this. Arranging the content to the center, you can see that it is flexible. It is flexible. So that fits your content to the center of screen. That is important. For that, we have to learn how to keep them correctly to the center of the screen. For that, we need to use these flexible options, attributes. So these are all together used with various properties. So this is an example of how we can use display. Now, one more option is display. Display can be used to hide any element from DOM. You can hide any element. Just what you have to use is syntactically you have to set display as none. Display as none. Later it is very helpful, especially when you are dealing with JavaScript, jQuery, how we can display none. We can understand about that, how we can give display none, right? That is very important. So you can use them, you can handle them. So you can see later in future important. Suppose I want to temporarily hide this login screen. Then what you can do is actually we can put display as none. Display as none is actually to hide that area. It's not there. It is not displayed. And I again want to display, then display inline or display block. It will again display. So this you use in future very much, especially while working with JavaScript, jQuery, how we can display, how we can handle options are very important. Right. We will see how to define these options. How do we work with these options? One simple example we will see. So that means in future, some examples we will put them, so especially while working with JavaScript. But that is a basic attribute. Generally, we use display none to hide the tail. These are all CSS related, some important display options, display styles and display options. Right. After understanding the display, another important is CSS positions are there. You need to know about CSS positions. Actually, this is very important also. In interviews, several questions are asked on this. So you need to understand it correctly. Actually, generally, elements. So generally elements are placed according to the document layout flow. Layout flow. Elements are placed according to document layout flow. What position can do is position allows to make element behave differently and take them out of the document flow out of the document flow. So actually CSS positions are defined by using so position attribute they are defined by using position attribute. And position attribute, so it have a lot of attributes. We have various positions, so we have different positions. What are the different positions available? We will see one by one. What are the various positions available, how to deal with them. The first important, so the first important position, we have static position. Remember this very big, important, because in interviews for you UI full stack developers, so for freshers, they ask this positions related questions very regularly, because many people, even after learning CSS, they are little bit confused about these positions. So that's the reason we need to correctly understand. I will show you. What is a static position? Actually, it is according to the normal flow of document. According to the normal flow of document. That means it is used as default for every element. By default, every element is static, means according to the normal flow. So that means it will not have any effect on the element position. It will not have any effect. So it is the default. So static position is not affected by using the top or left or right or bottom and z index. It is not affected. So that means static is the default position. It keeps in the normal position. So it will not affect. So it will not affect by top and other options. It is not affected by them. Okay. Now the point here is how generally we write is, that is the default one. So no need of any example. By default, it is static. So suppose we have a paragraph and position we define as static. So you define the position static for paragraph. Suppose let's see some positions, how we can handle the positions. So position.html. Okay, and here we are defining the position doc type. Okay, HTML head, and head, and title, I say positions. Okay, now in the body section, I am defining some paragraph. So some text is there, and here we are writing the style, and here you can see that. So here for paragraph, I am writing position as static position. And usually static position, you see, it is not affected. And I given some right side 10 pixels I want. If I say right side 10 pixels, and you can see that, you can see that actually right 10 pixels means from right it should be 10 pixels, but it is not affected by that. That means from right side it should come if I give right, but it is not affected. That means static position is the normal position. Default position is static. It is not affected by any. It is not affected by any. Left, right, it is not affected. It will not change the position. So if you want to keep according to the normal document flow, then you can go with the static position. Okay, that is one position. By default, it is static. Another, we have a sticky position. Sticky position. Sticky position is very important. Actually, element is positioned according to the normal flow of document. It is also not affected. So that means it will be positioned according to the normal flow of document, but it can make content sticky after scrolling to specified margin. So that means it requires margins to define. To define. So this is the sticky position. It requires margins to define, and position by using left, right, you can affect it. You can affect it by using left, right and all. It requires margin to define. So by using left, right, top, bottom attributes, by using attributes. I will show you what does that means, how generally it uses and works, how we can create the sticky positions, how we can define the sticky position. With the sticky positions, we can create different accordion-like styles. I will show you. First, I will show you what is a sticky position. For example, to understand that, I need to keep some paragraphs of information. So I will keep some paragraphs of information. Okay. Some paragraphs of information. Let's keep that here. Okay. And here I am creating a simple div. So some paragraph P. Okay. Some paragraphs of information is present. After few paragraphs. So after few paragraphs. So I have some heading. Some heading like HTML tutorial. And after that, again, some paragraphs are there. Now, I will keep 2 paragraphs at the top. Okay, fine. 2 paragraphs at the top. This is displayed in this way. You can see it is displayed like this. Now what happens is our HTML tutorial is here. So that is actually heading 2. When I scroll here, so it will scroll up and it will go there. Okay. Now what I am doing is, actually, I can have some more paragraphs below. Okay. Now see what I am doing is, I will keep here for heading 2, position as sticky. When you keep position as sticky, you can see that it is not moved from its location. That means according to the document flow, it will be in the same location. No problem. Okay. But what happens is it is affected by using. So I defined after sticky, I defined top as 0 pixel. And I will give some background color some yellow. Now see what happens is, this is present here. Okay. I given sticky position means it will be according to flow. Okay. But when it reaches top 0 pixel, see what will happen. When it reaches top 0 pixel, it will stick there and rest of content will scroll. That is the sticky position actually. That means it will be at normal position only. It will not change its position, but it sticks when it reaches the pixel. Suppose I want to stick after reaching 100 pixel. Then what happens is it will be sticky after reaching 100 pixel. But I want to make it sticky at the top of the page. Then I will use 0 pixel. Then it will be at the top of the page, at the top. That means it will be at its position only. When you are scrolling, it will go to that location and sticks there. And you can scroll the rest of content. You can scroll the rest of content. This is actually sticky position. This is the sticky position. With this sticky position, we can have a lot of contents like by using sticky position. This is example. This is the general example of sticky position. So it requires the margins to define where to stick it actually. So margin top, after reaching margin top, where to stick it. So generally with this kind of stickies, we can use accordion. Accordion styles are there, accordion style. Usually accordion is a very popular style that you will see in Bootstrap. So this accordion style is used with sticky mechanism. I will show you. Here, I will keep some other contents here now. See, what is accordion style? I will show you. I will create here. So heading, so web technologies. Technologies. I'm giving the heading as web technologies. And I have a data list. In that we have a data term. In the data term, we have HTML. Under that HTML, we have several definitions. Normal elements. So another void elements. Void elements. So we have RC data elements. So we have raw text elements. So raw text elements. So we have foreign elements like this. Foreign elements like this. Now similarly, so these are all the options, and there can be lot of options here, lot of options. I will copy them and I will paste again and again. That means we need more content to scroll actually. Fine. I will paste again. Fine. That is under one term. Another term, we have JavaScript. Under JavaScript, again data definitions, variables. So data definition, data types, and data definition operators. So data definition statements like this. And under this, I will copy again several items are there. Okay. So that is how I have defined. And another data term is CSS. And data definition, some units. So data definition colors. So data definition display. So data definition, some borders, all this. And I will keep this. Copy and paste this. So you have a lot of content. You see a lot of content is there to scroll. Lot of content is there to the scrolling. They have a lot of content for scrolling actually. Now see what I'm doing here. That means how we can create such accordion like styles here is just what we will do is in the style, wherever data term is there, DT, data term is there. So background color, I say black, and color, I'll say white. And padding is 10 pixel. Okay. And top, I will give 0 pixel. So 0 pixel. And I will keep, so left also 0 pixel. So, and margin. So margin, I defined as 1 EM. So that means 1 point, EM means already I told you. It is to relative to the current body. Body margin it will apply. That is left margin. Left margin, right margin, 0. Like this we can apply the margins. left margin, right margin. Margin is a shorthand way. It's not mandatory. So, and position I will give, this is important, sticky. So terms will be sticky. Now you can see that this is the data term HTML. When I scroll up, when it goes to that location, it will stop. We scroll HTML. Then JavaScript comes and fix there. And the JavaScript is scrolled. Then CSS will scroll there. And when I scroll up, again CSS will come. Again JavaScript will come. Again HTML will come. So this is what regularly you see in several websites, how the contents will have a sticky position with the toolbars and different types of categories. So this is nothing but wherever data term is there, it gives that sticky position for the data terms. It uses the sticky position for the data terms, right? That's what actually the option sticky. That is the option sticky. So we can keep the items sticky. This is another example of accordion. That means they will be at their place only. So, but when they reach the margin, they will stop. That means they will make the content sticky actually. Yeah, that is what actually static and sticky position. Another we have fixed position. Now fixed position is nothing but actually the element is removed from normal document flow. Is removed from normal document flow. That means element is removed. That means element is no longer a part of document flow. So that means DOM flow, not a part of DOM flow. So its position is fixed with left, right, top, bottom. Its position is fixed with them. Left, right, top, bottom. Position is fixed. By using left, right, top, bottom, its position is fixed. So that means very important is it will not move from specified position. That means it will stay at that position. So in entire page, that means its position is fixed. Position is fixed on page. That's what actually fixed position is. It is fixed on page. Its position is fixed on page. Now generally, what is that fixed position? How we can handle the fixed position? You see here, what happens actually is, suppose in this example itself, we have this example. In this example, I will go here and just below this, all the content, I will keep a div and I will keep an ID as logo. Okay, here I will put here as company logo. So logo, something like this. There can be some picture or something here. So I have IMG SRC. So images. So some shoe.jpg. Width is 30, height is 30, like this. A small image is present. Actually, by default, this logo position is, the logo position is static. That means you see the logo position will be at the bottom. Here at the bottom it is there. Now see what I am doing is in the style hash logo position I will give as fixed. Then position fixed will remove logo from DOM flow. You see that the image is removed from the DOM. It is removed from the DOM. You can see the image is removed from the DOM. So that means actually it is somewhere else. It is there, but you cannot see it. Currently, you cannot see it. It is removed from the DOM, but it is present. Observe, I will change my zoom levels very small, and you can see that it will go somewhere outside, and you can see that it looks like it is present there. Actually it is removed from there. Actually you can see that is removed. Actually that means it is not present according to the normal flow. Okay, now very important is, so it is removed from the normal flow. It is removed from the normal flow. So that is what actually it is. It is removed from the normal flow. After removing from normal flow, you have to tell where to keep it. That means I will say top as 100 pixel. Okay, right as some 20 pixel, top and right here, and you see that it will come top right here. Suppose top also 20 pixel, and you see top 20 pixel, right side top. Observe carefully, it will stay there forever. That means even you are scrolling rest of content, it will be there only. It will not move from there. So it is not sticky, it is fixed. It is fixed. It will not move, it will be there only. That means I defined suppose bottom. So bottom 20 pixels. So from bottom 20 pixels, right side corner, it is there. It will not move from there. It will be fixed there. You are scrolling your content, you are displaying your content, but it is not moving from there. It is at that location. That means it is at that location. Right. So that means only this is the position which is removed from flow. It is removed from the flow. This is called fixed position. You can keep any element at fixed position, but for that you have to tell right how many, left how many. You need to configure the left right positions and define them. So that is what actually the rifter positions, right? Technically, that is how we can configure the position as position as static, position as sticky, and position as fixed. We have the position. So we have the position, relative positions also. We have relative position. Actually, relative position is with regard to the existing items. With regard to the existing items, relative position will be there. That means relative position, it is also according to the normal flow. So another position is there, relative position. Relative position. Actually, it is also according to according to normal flow. According to the normal flow. So, but its position will be relative to parent or adjacent element, relative to the parent or adjacent element. So that means it is from the parent or from the adjacent element, its position will be changed. That is what actually relative is. Relative. For example, the point is actually to understand the relative position, I will give here. Okay, to understand the relative position, here I am defining a simple div is there. So div is having a class called box. In the div we have an image, img, and src. So and it has some images, some mobile.jpg, okay, or some shoe.jpg. Okay, some width is 100 and height also 100. Okay, now you see here, so I'm defining for box. Box width is equal to 300 and the height is equal to some 300. And box have a border as 2 pixels solid and black something. Okay, and box have margin left 10 pixel or 100 pixel. Now you can see that this is margin 100 pixel, left margin 100 pixel, height I will give 100. Okay, Inside that there is picture. Already box is 100 pixel. That means picture is at 100 pixel. Picture is 100 pixel. Now I will go here and I will write for the image. I will write for the image. That means here I am writing. So in the box, so image. For that I have given position. Position as relative. Position relative, it will keep that at the same position. It will not remove. Okay. But if I give here margin as, so margin left as 10 pixel, then what happens is it will be relative to this box. It is relative to this box. That means I say some 20 pixel, it will be relative to that box. 20 pixel relative to the box. Actually position relative indicates that to the box, already box is at 100. So at 20 pixel related to the box, that's how it will manage. That means relative to the parent element or relative to the adjacent element, how you want to arrange the contents. That is what relative is. Otherwise, suppose I said minus 20 pixel. Minus 20 pixel, it will be relative to the box minus 20 pixel. Generally, so if I don't give relative, it will be to relative to the margin actually. Relative to the margin. It will adjust related to the margin of page, not to the box. So that means this is important to understand. When you are keeping the contents, you have to adjust them according to its parent. According to its parent, then better to give position as relative. Relative position will be according to the parent or according to the adjacent elements. That means beside it, if there is another element, according to that adjacent element, it will adjust that effect actually. That's what actually position can do. So we have static position, relative position, sticky position, and fixed positions. So generally we have another position called absolute. We have absolute position, position absolute. Actually what happens when you give position absolute? For example, suppose the position for this image. So for this image, position as absolute. When you give the position absolute for this, then it is looking as same. That means same position is there. It is looking as same position. So, but actually, absolute positions. So we'll have to remove the content from the DOM model. They have to remove the content from the DOM model. Means DOM flow. And they can allow effects. Suppose you see here, so left or say right as some 20 pixel I defined. And you see right 20 pixel it will come. But it is not fixed there. It will be relative to this line only. It is not fixed there. So that means if you have more content, so you see it will come into this box. So I move from there, then its position will be there, right side. But it is not fixed there. Absolute means not fixed, but it is removed from DOM. If it is removed from DOM, then you can keep at any location. But it is not fixed, absolute position will be. That means suppose you have a lot of content here, paragraph. So you have a lot of content here, some paragraphs of information is present here. Paragraphs of information is present here. So you see some paragraph information is present here. A lot of paragraphs information is present here. And when I scroll, it is scrolling. It is not fixed, but it is removed from the DOM. What is the difference between fixed and absolute? Fixed will keep at that place forever. But absolute will remove from DOM and allows you to keep at any place, but it will be according to general flow of document, it will scroll. So it is not fixed. It is not fixed. That means it removes from DOM flow. So but keeps it at its specified position. So it allows to change position. So using left, right, top or bottom. And another important, but it is not fixed at that position. It is not fixed at that position. So that is what actually absolute is. That means now two positions are removed from the DOM. What are the positions removed from the DOM flow? Can you tell me? What are the positions that are removed from the DOM flow? The positions which are removed from the DOM flow are, what are the positions? Two positions are removed from the DOM flow. One is absolute, another one is fixed. Other positions are present in the same DOM flow. So, right? So, fixed and absolute, these are removed from the DOM. So, this is very important to arrange the contents in a correct way. The positions, how we can manage them. Once you know the positions, now another important we need to understand is about how do we use CSS layouts and columns and styling text. Three more options are there. We need to understand three more options. So we have columns. So we have text formatting, styling, right? And we have layouts. And in the layouts we have 2D and 3D. 2D and 3D, how to use them. These three we have to learn. These four we have to learn. Then we can go into Bootstrap and learn about working with the Bootstrap. 2D and 3D, there we will learn about animations, how to do them. So this we will see in our next session, right? So in two more sessions, we will finish all the CSS. Then we can go into Bootstrap concept. So in Bootstrap, along with Bootstrap, you will learn jQuery, JavaScript integrations, how to manage with them, right? Then tomorrow we'll continue with this, right?